7,112 children, and 43,660 injured, and another 7,600 missing, which means they are dead because obviously they are under the rubble and not found yet. From these unbelievable numbers that are even sometimes miscalculated or even misread, don't you think it's quite logical for the Palestinians to fight back and resist the occupier, since the whole world is watching the genocidal movie scripted by the devil himself? I mean, even the devil would be merciful more than the Zionist leader Netanyahu.
Well, thank you for inviting me in to talk about this. And I have to say, when I see those pictures, it's heartbreaking. And the article I wrote today had the headline, "Why is it that in Washington and the corridors of power, they can only hear the cries of Israeli children?" As you point out, most of the world is now clear that this is a genocide. This is an ethnic cleansing operation, that whatever happened to start it on October 7th, it was already pre-planned by Netanyahu and his cabinet and his extremist regime, that they would carry out an ethnic cleansing. Now, the question is, how can this be stopped? And obviously, resistance and fighting back is necessary, but there has to be something to end this cycle of violence from above. And our view is that the only way that can be done is with a two-state solution, justice for the Palestinians, an immediate ceasefire, and a rebuilding, which includes taking into consideration all the region, because this is an attack on the region. It's not just against Palestinians, it's against the entire area of Southwest Asia. And Netanyahu is acting as a puppet of the military-industrial complex in the West and the corporate cartels that control him.
Very good. Mr. Harley, let me read before you this statement back to you as President Biden, and I want your comment on this. He said that Israel state that's free and secure. He said that without an Israel state that is free and secure, I don't think there is a single Jew in the world who would be fully secure. That's why I have been such an overwhelming supporter. Adding, you don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist, and I am a Zionist. I make no apologies for that. That's a reality. So, based on these words, Mr. Harley, don't you think the picture of what is happening now in Gaza is quite clear? Biden is an accomplice in the Netanyahu genocidal war in Gaza. Now, can we consider him just another war criminal that should be also put in the court?
Well, with the death of Henry Kissinger this last week, I would put Biden near the top of the list of war criminals. He is responsible for hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian deaths, for not reaching an agreement, for sabotaging the agreement between Russia and Ukraine. And now by egging on Netanyahu, by saying that it's justified to carry out this revenge, by giving a green light for money and weapons to Israel, he's put himself on the dark side of history. But, you know, this question is not about Judaism, because not all Jews support Zionism. In fact, a lot of them in the United States, we're seeing large demonstrations of young Jewish students calling for the end for a ceasefire and an end to the war. There is a poll that just came out that said 61% of American voters want a ceasefire. So what is it that's pulling Biden's strings? Why is Biden so committed to Netanyahu? And of course, the answer is that he's afraid, losing the Ukraine war and now being on the wrong side in this, that he would lose the election. So he sees Netanyahu's success as key to keeping him in office, just as Netanyahu believes that the ethnic cleansing of Palestine will ensure that he can stay in office. In both cases, they're wrong. The judgment of the world has already been clear. This is a genocide. This is unacceptable. The only question is, how can we get forces in there that will stop the killing?
Yes, indeed. I can't agree more on what you have said.